Painkiller Ghosts. This is the epilogue titled An Erratic History of Thyme, Part 5. Now, 3 months later or so, the winter's gone, and this is how it is. Slap. Link hops down from the rear of his truck. He's wearing jeans it's in the early summer. His tattooed knuckles are covered by gloves. He's wearing a plain white t-shirt. He's sweating. He's swearing. He jumps down and walks over to a driveway, rolls the plastic bin to the truck, zones out in concentration, and the next thing he knows, the bin is back to where it used to be. And he's on the back of the truck where he's used to being. And he's winking at women as they walk by, and then slap. The truck goes 2 blocks this time and hangs a left, then another, and Link slap. And he hops down and he walks towards the front of the truck. The window is lower. Link takes off his gloves and feels his pockets, and then looks up to the window and says, I think I've lost my cell phone. Is it up there in the cab anywhere? The truck shifts gears in the park. Link waits on the street. No, nothing. You sure? I'm sure, Chastity says. I saw you grab it when you got out. I think it's gone. I'm gonna ride up with you the rest of the way. He walks in front of the truck, gazes down the front fender, the one that slapped Stan fatally. He opens the passenger door and he climbs up. He slams it, slap. He messes with the seatbelt. He looks over to Chastity and says, go on and drive to your house. I'll get in the driver's seat then. He winks over at Chastity. I've got a date tonight. Chastity smiles at him and says, hey, well, don't forget my paycheck, Link. Oh, yes, Fridays. She drives on and parks the truck in the middle of the street in front of her house. She shifts it into park and stomps down the parking brake and then swings the door open and climbs out, not bothering to look left or right. She looks up at the window as Link has slid across the seat into the cab and is framed by the driver's side window. He's looking down at her, smiling. She says, look. She points to the house directly across the street from hers, and the for sale sign that had been growing weeds around it for months now has a sale pending sign. And she points down the street the way the truck was heading, and there was another house with the same sign, sale pending, in the front yard. Chastity smiles. Link smiles back and says, oh, here's your pay. And he holds some cash out the window. No. No? No. You spend it tonight on your date. I don't need it. I just like helping. And I don't want a job. See you tomorrow then, huh? See you tomorrow. Good luck, Link. And good luck, baby. I don't need no luck. I'm the trash man, baby. Baby, I'm the trash man. And then Link smiles, and he laughs out loud, the hardest he's laughed all day. And then for a moment he forgets he's lost his cell phone, and Chastity smiles too. And then she laughs aloud, and she turns, still smiling, and she walks away from Link's truck. He waits until she walks up the sidewalk, and she's at her front door, unlocking the handle with her keys, and Link shifts his truck into drive, eases off the parking brake, and then drives off towards his date, where he'll look at the woman in her eyes, blue, brown, it doesn't matter, and he'll say, baby, I'm the trash man. I'm the trash man, baby. And then he'll wave a waitress over with his tattooed knuckles, and as he drives home that night, or hopefully the next morning, he'll do what he does every day. He'll drive his truck, and wherever he goes, he'll be looking for Mama Exler. He's looking out for her on the sidewalk, drinking tea, and then turning around and walking away from him. Forever. Forever. Chastity opens her front door and she walks in, locking it behind her as she always does now. She has a newspaper in her hand, and she took one from Link's customers earlier this morning because, you know, she's a virgin, not an angel. She kicks off her boots, sits on the steps leading upstairs. She takes off her dirty socks. She can't wait to get some clean ones on. She's starving. She walks into the kitchen. The lights are out. She turns them on with her elbow, rubbing her growling stomach with her right hand. She sees a pair of clean white socks, men's socks, on the table with some of her clean clothes. And right there in the kitchen, she pulls off her work pants, pulls off her underwear, strips off her dirty t-shirt, keeping on only her bra as she doesn't see a clean one. She pulls on a clean t-shirt and is sitting on the floor wrestling with a sock. Thyme, bearded and hair a little shaggier than the last time we saw him, walks in slowly. He's still in pain. He stops, looks down, and then smiles and backs out of the room. By the time she gets both socks on and gets in the other room, he's sitting on the sofa watching the news. He looks up to her and smiles. Hey, how was today? Hot. Pretty hot. Thyme smiles. She asks, how are you feeling? Sore. Not as sore as last week. I walked 1.5 miles today. She rubs his chest, then gently lifts up his t-shirt and looks at the scar in his stomach. She can see the incision scar. She can see where the stitches dot the scar. She asks him, did you see it again? All day. I wish I could see it too, Thyme. I wish you could too. And then Thyme, barefoot and bearded, grabs his camera from the counter. He rubs his stomach. He smiles through his beard and ignores the burning around his stomach's scar and the taste on his tongue, that bitter, bitter taste again. And he ignores it so well, and it goes away sooner or later. And he walks over to the window and he takes a picture of the empty street in front of the house, in front of Chastity's house. And after the camera clicks, he keeps looking at the street again, smiling. He walks back across the room to Chastity. He hands her the camera. She looks down and smiles, rubs her eyes, smiles again. It's unreal, she says. It is, he responds. Right where Link's truck hit him, he's that blur. He's that shadow in the street. And that's a dog attacking him? Biting him? I see it every day. The ghost of a dog. The ghost of your dog, Thyme? The ghost of a dog. Biting him? Biting the heck out of him. I told Mama he'd end up in hell someday. Have you seen Mama? No, not again. Have you? No. She pauses. Tell me about what you can see in the street again. Tell me what the dog is doing to that freak. Okay. He stares out the window. A dog runs over. I can hear his tags. I can smell his fur. He runs over and he drags Stan from the ground up from his neck. And then he turns and he rips into Stan's neck. It's too much, even for the blur of an image. You see this every day, don't you? Yes. Does Stan scream? Yes. And is it your dog? It's just a dog. Tell me, Thyme. Tell me. Yes, it is. It's him. It's my old dog. Would you never see Mama again? I've smelled her tea. And does that make you feel better? Yeah, it does. It makes me feel better. In fact, I feel good now just thinking about it. This is then, now, and this is how it is. He smiles. He closes his eyes for a minute, then 2. He's dreaming about being a child and finding 3 pennies in the pocket of his favorite pants. And he already feels good. His dog had a name. The one that lived with him years ago. The one that protects him still. The dog had a name, and Ty remembers what it was, but that was years ago. Do you know what I call things like that? No. What? Painkiller ghosts.